All right, gang. Welcome to another edition of Webinar Wednesday. It is awesome to be with everyone here today. Hi, Sudhir from San Francisco. Hi, Trisha, Mike, and everyone else joining us. Seems we have an international audience here today. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. I am Jason there on the left. And as always, we're very lucky to be joined by David Rocklin, who is the digital strategist and so much more here at Brilliant Directories. David, thank you for taking the time to join us on this webinar and the slides you've created for us for today's quick tips.
Hey, everybody. So glad to be back with you for another webinar. Yeah, trying something a little new with the tip of the week this week. Don't want to give too much away just yet. We'll get there in just a few moments, but something to look forward to. Got quite a few tips for you this time.
Yeah, I'm excited for those. And we do see that a lot of people are joining us from YouTube. So out there in YouTube live land, welcome to the webinar. If you're not subscribed to the Brilliant Directories YouTube channel, highly recommend doing that now. You can go to brilliantdirectories.com/YouTube and click on that subscribe button. It's a great way to get notified as soon as the webinar replays are available. Tips of the week, quick tips, featured tutorials, and more. And one of the perks of being on YouTube Live is the replay will be immediately available to everyone after the webinar is over. And we will post a link to that in the Brilliant Directories Facebook group. We also encourage you to join us there. You can head on over to brilliantdirectories.com/Facebook and click on that blue join button. I'm in there myself. Lots of great discussions. You can ask questions there. You can get feedback and suggestions related to your website. So it's a really positive group, and we do invite everyone to join us there. And just a quick plug here for the Brilliant Directories app. If you have a BD site and you don't have the free app, just head on over to the Apple or Google store and search for Brilliant Directories. You can also follow the links that are there on the screen and download the free app. It's a great way to stay in touch with the pulse of your site on the go. You can see new members, new transactions, and more. And we have a great turnout for today's webinar, and I do see some new names and faces, so welcome. Just a little bit about the Webinar Wednesdays and what we aim to cover. Week after week, the BD team is hard at work pushing new updates into the Brilliant Directories platform. Many of them, big round of applause to the BD community for the suggestions that you submit, the support tickets, they all help to improve the platform. So in Webinar Wednesday, what we aim to do is share some of those newer updates where you can take action steps to help grow your community. So we'll cover topics such as how to increase your website traffic, converting website visitors into members, identifying revenue opportunities, and more. We're going to have plenty of time for Q&A today. So if you need help with your membership site or have questions on any of these topics, just type them into the comments. If you want us to unmute your microphone, just type in the question. Just make sure you're at brilliantdirectories.com/stream, and that allows us to unmute your microphone. And before I go on to the lab updates, just a little bit about some of the things we cover here. I'm going to go to the Brilliant Directories website. I'm going to go to the blog section we have here. And there's lots of great content here. You can see all the webinar replays in the sidebar here. There's a link that says on-demand webinar replays. But one of my favorite things are this section here is membership growth strategies. A lot of these are the tips of the week that we do in the webinars, the smaller segments. I'm going to share a link to this. So if you have free time, this is a great place to go and just get educated on some tips and tricks on how to grow your membership site. All right. And before we get to the quick tips for this week, we do have some lab updates to share. There's a lot of good things coming down the line very soon, but we do have a few kind of like higher level developer updates that we'll share with you today. The first one at the top of the list is related to webhooks. If you're not familiar with webhooks, it is a way for developers or kind of medium, I'd say, skilled tech users where you can send the data of your Brilliant Directory site out to third-party platforms. I'm not going to get too much into how the webhooks work, but we do have 2 new webhooks that should be pretty useful if you are tracking payments on your site and need to send that data to third-party platforms or to other applications. So there are 2 new webhooks. Let's go to the admin area and check them out together. And I'll explain what they do. So I went to Developer Hub and webhooks, and I'm going to search for invoice. Actually, these webhooks, there's a bunch of default ones. I think we're going to do a small project to give them better naming conventions and categorizing them. But for this update, there are two here. And I'll start with this top one here, admin subscription and admin invoice action. So in the admin area, you can manually bill members. If you have their credit card on file, you can start subscriptions for them manually in the admin area. And this webhook will track all that data when those events take place over here in the admin area. So you can create webhooks for that. The member, the amounts, the subscription, and all that stuff will be passed through the webhook. The next one here is called System Invoice Action. This could be named a bit better, but basically all the recurring payments that are processed on the site, all the scheduled payments, all the monthly payments, the annual payments that are automatically processed by the BD system for members who are on subscriptions. These are the system invoices that are created, and with this webhook, you can send wherever you need to send that data. You can send it with this webhook, and it will let you know if the transaction was successful, if it failed, or other statuses that might apply to when the payment is being attempted to be captured. So one is for the admin subscriptions that you create manually, and one are for the auto recurring payments that the system is processing. Now you can send that data to third-party platforms as needed. All right, this next one here, also for developers, it is related to the Brilliant Directories API, and it is a new endpoint related to widgets. Again, if you're not a developer, this might not excite you that much, but if you are, this could be a game changer for you. So with this new API endpoint, there you can actually create, read, or update or delete your custom widgets on your site. And also what's even more magical about this update is you can actually render your widgets on third-party sites with the API. With the API, you can actually render the code of the widget. I'm going to share a couple links here. We have some articles on it. This one here, Widgets API, how to edit widgets with the API calls. I'll just go ahead and share this in the chat here. And we do have, just in general, a reference for the API endpoints and all of them. So we have for members, which are users, leads, single image posts, multi-image posts, and the new one down here is for widgets. And we see something different here, which is not just the get, post, put, and delete, but there is a post to render the widget content of a specific widget here. So I'll go ahead and share this with you guys as well. All right, this next one here, we've been waiting a long time. It has the word soon next to it for the emojis. However, there is a way for you to get this added to your site a bit quicker. Up until now, actually, there has not been emoji support. So if you're working in your text editor or you want to save an emoji as a title for something, it gets kicked back with a bunch of question marks after you save the changes. That is something with how those emoji values were being saved in the database. But with this update, emojis, thankfully, will start working. So right now, our system, this is so fresh right now, our system is going and doing the behind the scenes update for sites. But if you want to expedite this for your site, if you want to dive in and start saving emojis around your pages or fields where you want to save emojis, you can certainly do so. So let's actually do this together. Again, this is you're not going to have to do this. The system is processing this today across all BD sites. But if you want to do it yourself, you can come here to your main dashboard area and scroll down to install new updates. Normally, we take care of everything behind the scenes. If it's here, it's just temporarily, but it's always a good idea to check this periodically, and it's always safe to click the install buttons here. But this is the one related to emoji support. So if your site hasn't been updated yet, you'll see this install button. So let's go ahead and do that together. And let's give it a second to install. And while that's doing that, all right, it says that it's installed. Let's make sure that it's removed from this list. Yep. Okay. So now the fun part is if you go to like the web page builder as an example, and we'll just create a new web page here. And we'll say, we'll just call the page emojis. So you'll see now an emoji option here in the text editor. We'll just put a few emojis in here. And we'll just do emojis, everything, the main title, the subtitle. We'll even do the meta title. And we'll even put it in the URL. I don't know if the URL is going to work. Let's cross our fingers and see. And hopefully that installer took care of this update for us. So it looks like things are working well. Let's go to view page. And yeah, So that installer worked. Again, if that we're already running that for all BD sites, it's just happening today. So if you just give it about 24 hours, it'll be auto installed. Or if you want to go ahead, you can hit that install button. But even if we look at the source code now, we could see the meta title of the page are the emojis that we saved. And there shouldn't be any issues now with emojis. So I'm super excited about that. I like using emojis, sparingly in different areas of the site. So it's nice to see that supported now. All right, a couple more coming soon for posts. If you're importing posts to your site, many times posts have locations attributed to them. For example, events or jobs have a physical location with them. And up until now, there was no way to bulk geocode them. Geocode assigns a latitude and longitude so that those imported posts can be searched via location on the front end of the site. That will be remedied soon, and you'll have an option to bulk geocode those posts. Next on the list, we are working on some WordPress plugins so that you have some integration options between your Brilliant Directory site and your WordPress site. The first one here, syncing WooCommerce customers. WooCommerce is the #1 e-commerce plugin for WordPress. So you'll be able to sync your WooCommerce customer records to your Brilliant Directory site. It'll create them as member records on your Brilliant Directory site. That one has been submitted to the WordPress plugin repository. It is pending approval by them. So that should be any day now, we should get an approval for that, and it should be available in the WordPress plugin repository. The next one here, this one's undergoing development. It is the ability to export your WordPress posts to your Brilliant Directories website. So that'll be a one-click button. And if you're working on new posts in your WordPress site, there will be an export button when you're working on your posts. What's cool about the export WordPress post one is after it does the export, it can create a 301 redirect, which will redirect the old WordPress post URL to the new Brilliant Directories post URL. So you won't lose any link juice or traffic coming to the original blog article link. So that's really cool. We have a few others coming down the line. I'll just mention what they are. The second one is a forms sync. So there's several very popular form plugins for WordPress. There's Contact Form 7, WordPress Forms, Ninja Forms, Gravity Forms, and a few others. What that other plugin is going to do is you'll be able to send that data, those submissions from those form plugins to your Brilliant Directories website. So if someone fills out that Contact Form 7 form on your WordPress site, you can then create a member with that submission or create a review or create a lead. So you'll be able to send data from your WordPress site to your BD site using those existing form plugins. And then the last one that we're really excited about is hosting your BD site on a WordPress subfolder, or loading your BD site on a WordPress subfolder. So if you have an existing WordPress site and you want to add the BD directory to it, you can just define the / page, the / members or / directory, whatever you want to call it, and your BD site will load on that page. Also, just wanted to mention for February and March, while some of these bigger updates, and more recently we had some good updates, but for February and March, we have a lot of smaller updates to do, small patches that have been reported by you guys. So we're going to focus on those website stability and security settings through the end of March so that things continue working as they should and as expected. So, and of course, tons more updates on the way. Many of these are from the BD community. So thank you guys for all that you do and keeping us working hard here. We really appreciate it and we love it. And with that, we can segue on to a new webinar segment, BD Quick Tips. If it's all right with you, David, I can pass things over and you could take it from here.
Yeah, really looking forward to this one. We're trying out something a little new. Instead of doing a full-on tip of the week, a full presentation on one specific topic, we thought it might be fun, maybe a little bit more interesting in some cases, to cover some more quick tips on some smaller elements of the platform, certain settings, features, options that are out there that are often overlooked. There's a lot of features built into the platform, so sometimes it can be a little bit easy to overlook some really useful settings. So that's kind of the idea behind this BD Quick Tip segment here, is to kind of rapid fire go through a few different quick tips, smaller tips that you might want to take advantage of on your site. So you can see here the three quick tips that we'll get into, just a little bit of a preview here. But going into the first one, autofill coupons on checkout pages. So what you can do is you you can automatically apply a coupon code when a visitor visits a checkout page on your website. So this does require the Easy Coupon Codes add-on. However, if you have it, all you need to do, just create a coupon code, or if you already have coupon codes created, all you have to do is get the URL of one of the checkout pages on your website. So it's going to be something like mywebsite.com/checkout/ the membership plan ID number. And then after that number, all you have to do is add another / and then question mark ref code equals, and then replace discount that you see there on the screen with the coupon code. And then you can include that link in email marketing, in an email to a member if you want to provide a specific member with a specific prospective member with a discount when they're signing up. You don't want to tell them, here's the coupon code to use on the checkout page. You can just send them a link so that the coupon automatically gets applied for them. So that's how you do it. It's super simple. It encourages checkout with that instant discount applied. There's no work that needs to be done on the user's end. So it's great for those email campaigns, social media campaigns as well. If you have any landing pages that you're directing like PPC ads to or anything like that, you can include this link in those areas to incentivize member signups with an automated coupon code there. So, and then lastly, just a smaller benefit that a lot of people don't really think about is that it ensures that the correct discount is applied. So it kind of eliminates the possibility of there being any user errors. Sometimes, somebody might not copy a coupon code correctly. Maybe they'll decide to type it in themselves and they don't type it in correctly. So a few benefits here, just a really neat little feature that is oftentimes overlooked with the coupon codes.
Yeah, let's show you guys a demo of how that works exactly. Let's go here. Let me share a link to the Easy Coupon Codes add-on. It's one of my favorite add-ons, actually. I'll put this in the chat here for everyone. And when you have this enabled on your site, you'll have a coupon code section under your finance. You have a coupon codes link in the finance section of your admin. So I've created a coupon code called Save10, and it gives you 10% off your purchase. So let's actually go to a membership plan here, to a sign up page. Here's a paid plan here, membership plan 2. We'll go to the sign up page. What we want to do is that we have an article on it here. Let me share this. This is the view documentation. I'll share this in the chat as well. So this is the documentation for the Easy Coupon Codes add-on. There's lots of good sections here. Let me just search for that ref code here. Here it is. Applying the coupon code URL. So here's an example here. I'll click here. So if the coupon code that you created is called discount, you can just add it, just like David mentioned, to the end of the checkout link here with a question mark. Ref code means like the referral code, and it'll automatically enter it here in the have a promo code section. And we can see here that the discount was automatically applied in this case. In this case, it equated to a $50 discount. So you're saving a step for the user. Sometimes this is great on checkout pages where you want to offer something small, even if it's off your retail price. You can just link everyone to like a 5% off or 10% off. They feel like they're getting a goodie bag at checkout. Maybe they might have another promo code that's higher value. They can enter that one. But let me share this link here from the support center, which talks a bit more about this tip here.
Yeah, that was a great first little quick tip there. Moving on to the second one here, number 2 out of 3, hiding table cells on specific devices. So mobile devices, tablets, actual computer screens. This is just another one of those really small features that makes a huge difference. So with this, you can actually control table cell visibility on different devices. You don't have to do any coding. And where this really comes into play is mostly on landing pages or any other sort of informational web pages that you might have that have a lot of content. Oftentimes, some of that content, it might be beneficial to share with the visitor, but it might not be vital. And so if somebody's visiting that web page, say on their smartphone, where the screen is a lot smaller, we might not actually want to show them all of the content that is on that page that they would otherwise be seeing if they had visited the page, say on their computer. So you might want to hide some of that content, or even say on a landing page, maybe you have, some left-right text and images. So you have some text on the left, you have an image on the right, then you have an image on the left, you have some text on the right. Pretty common format for web pages. But maybe you want to hide those images on mobile devices. This way, the user doesn't have to scroll past these images that take up a decent amount of screen real estate on a mobile device. All they're presented with on their phone is the text. But on a computer or on a tablet, they'll still see those images. So a lot of flexibility here. This feature is available when you're editing any of the web pages on your website. It's built into the WYSIWYG text editor. So basically, you just select the cell within a table that you're editing on the page, and then you select the cell style option. It's one of the red highlighted ones in the screenshot on the slide. Jason's showing it right now. And then you can set the visibility for mobile, tablet, or desktop. So you can do this real quickly on the fly, no coding required, no custom CSS, and can work to improve user experience with just some cleaner layouts depending on what the page looks like overall on a computer. And then if a visitor might happen to be visiting that page on a device with a smaller screen size.
Yeah, and quick point about that, you can do it for a specific cell in a table. So there's two cells here, the left and right side. This top one here is for the cell style, or you can do it for the entire table, this entire table here. You can hide it or show it on mobile or desktop. Let's do something here where we're going to hide this table. I just set that up. And which one is this? This is the hide on desktop table. So let me just update this here. Hide on desktop table, and we'll actually see an example of this real quick. And let's add another table here. I'll just do the inverse of this one. And with this one, we'll do hide on mobile. So this one will show on desktop. We're just going to hide it on mobile. So we'll do hide on mobile. And then we can save the changes and check it out together. And we'll just do this mobile table test as the name. Let's save that. All right, great. Let's take a look at this page. So this is hide on desktop. We shouldn't see the second one. We should see this first one. Let's give it a look here. Right, hide on mobile. So now I'm going to go, I know how to do the mobile toggle on this Chrome browser. It's Control Shift, or just right click and go to the inspector tool and click on mobile view here. Okay, great. So if we go to 768 is the breakpoint for mobile. So now we could see hide on desktop. So that hide on mobile one is gone. And we just have the hide on desktop one. This is the one that shows on mobile. We go larger, we have hide on mobile, that other one goes away. So super helpful there. Again, you could do it for the entire table, which would be all the cells that are part of that single table, or an individual cell of that table as well. An article to share about all the actions available in the text editor. This is a great article here. It talks about all the settings available. I'm going to share this one as well.
Excellent tip there. Really love that one. Not always necessary in all cases, but in some specific cases, it can really come in handy. This last one here, number 3 out of 3, really loving these rapid fire tips here. Bulk assign posts to a new author or a new member. This is actually kind of a common question that we get. Very simple, very easy to do. Sometimes there might be a situation where you just need to reassign a post author to a different member. Maybe the original author of a post, maybe they're no longer a member, so they no longer have a listing on your website. Maybe you want to, maybe a member creates a new account and they still want to maintain the posts that have been published on their website already. So you can just quickly reassign the author of specific posts, and you can do it in a bulk action. So you don't have to go one by one. You can do multiple posts at the same time. So it's real simple. You just go to content and then manage posts in your admin area. You check off the posts that you want to reassign the author, and then you go to the bulk actions drop down, and then you just assign the new author. And then as you can see in the screenshot to the right, you just select the new member that you want to be the new author of the posts that you selected. So don't always have to do this. Again, really only some specific use cases for this one. But say, a member no longer has their listing on your site. You want to transfer ownership essentially of those posts to a new member. You can do that. So real easy to maintain organization of your published posts using this bulk action here.
Yeah, let's take a look at how it works here. And let me just know which member I'm going to want to move posts to. So this is really great if you have multiple admins, you want to move posts between the author, or if you're going to delete a member, but they really contributed some good content and it's okay to keep it on your site. Instead of losing that, you can, attribute it to a new member. So what you want is the member's name, email address, or their ID number. In this case, I'll just choose a random member here, 877. So under your My Content Manage Posts, you can search for posts by different criteria. You can search by keyword, the member's name, and so on. But the idea here is once you see the posts, in this case, blog articles, you can highlight them. You can select all of them. And there's some bulk actions here. You can, of course, delete them. But maybe you want to assign them to a new author, as in this case. We'll hit Apply. And you just got to put the author's name or ID number, and you'll get it listed here. And if you select that and hit continue, it will change the ownership. Let's go ahead and do that together. And if we refresh this page and go back to bloggers, there we go. So now these have been updated to Bonsai Grill as the author. So and then if we were going to go delete the member, we could, of course, do that, move the post as well. And that really important note, because I did mention this in the previous webinar, we did update when you're on this page to delete members, whether they're individual or in bulk. Let's go ahead and delete this Bonsai Grill account. We'll go delete account. And this is new now. Also in this pop-up, you want to confirm that you're deleting the Bonsai Grill account, reassign post to another member. We see that yet again here, giving us an opportunity to not delete their posts and instead transferring them to another author. So it says delete member post. If it's set to no, we can go ahead and choose another user. In this case, we'll give it back to the admin user blog contributor, and then we'll hit continue here. And we're deleting the Bonsai Grill, but before we delete them, we're transferring all their posts, whether it's photo albums, it's not even the specific ones like blogs or coupons, it's all their posts will be reassigned to the admin blog contributor in the example that we chose. So let's go back here. And if we look here, we can see it's back to the admin blog author. I do have an article to share about that one. Here we go. This is an article about managing posts, and this is a section for the available bulk actions, but this is a great read. There's lots of sections here, how to edit a post and some more actions. There's some SEO things you can do, like changing the URL of posts and more. So what I'll do here is I'll just post this link in the comments as well for this article. And yeah, David, great choices for these. There's lots of these little tips and tricks built into BD. So I think we'll continue this style of this segment. But thanks for putting this together, David.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun. Looking forward to doing some more of these. And if anyone out there, if you notice any small tips and tricks that you take advantage of frequently when you're managing your site, let us know and we can include them in these future tidbits here.
Awesome. Thank you. So we do have plenty of time for questions. Feel free to type in your questions. I see a lot of questions have already been typed in. We're going to filter through those in just a moment and get to responding to them. If you do want to verbally ask your question, go to brilliantdirectories.com/stream. And in the comments, type in question in all caps. That'll indicate to us that you'd like us to unmute your microphone. Okay, let's start. Here we go. Let's start with something. Rich says, funny you're talking about install updates. I was doing that this morning. All worked except 2 of them. Okay, great point there, Rich. If the installing the updates, the software updates ever get stuck for you, just email the support team and they'll figure out what happened. It's always safe to click those install buttons, but if they're not disappearing, it's probably just some kind of quirk or it's hitting a snag to remove it from the list. So please feel free to email the support team and inform them of that. All right, Tony's got a question here. Where do I find where to add the featured members ribbon setup? The featured members ribbon, that's a great one. It is an add-on that we have. Let's share that with you here. I love this one too. We've had lots of use cases throughout the webinars of when to use this, but it is the highlight member results. And basically it allows you to add a sash In the search results, you can choose the color and what the text says. It could say verified, featured, customer favorite, whatever you can think of. It's based on the membership plan. And here, I'll share this link to the add-on here. And very quickly, I'll just show you where, once you have this enabled, where you can make the edits for this. If you go to your membership plans, I'll hide this from there. If you go to the membership plans and then edit one of the membership plans, I believe this will be under search visibility tab for the membership plan, since it's related to the search results. And when you have the add-on and scroll down, you'll have the highlight member profile section. You can enable it by turning it on. And then, of course, you can choose things like the colors, what you want it to say. I think you could say customer favorite. Just, you want to be, see, that doesn't fit too well, customer favorite. What you can also do is you can choose if it's across or above. It will actually show above here when I save it. You can also change the font size. So there's a few settings here. That's how it would show there. So you can, based on how long the text is and what you're saying, you can choose if it'll be above or sashed diagonally across the logo here. But yeah, that's basically how you do it. And you would just save your changes. Good question there, Tony. All right. We got a long one here. Let me share this one. Marvin's asking a quick question for the team. When can we expect an update on the editor page that will allow users to copy and paste articles or blogs while maintaining an SEO optimized format? Right now, the editor defaults to normal text, which disrupts formatting and requires extra manual adjustments. So when you're pasting text into any text editor, the source of that is a big deal, because if you copy from like MS Word, or other types of text editors, it can add a bunch of, I'll call it gobbledygook, that could mess up the formatting that you really don't want on your site. I think the setting you're after, which will allow, let me hide this here. I forgot off the top of my head. Okay, I think Froella Plain Paste, when this setting is enabled, Froella Editor filters the pasted content and keeps only plain text by removing its rich formatting. I think what you want to do, Marvin, is disable this one, because then it won't turn it into plain text. It will paste it with if they are there, the H2, all the formatting that you have. So I would give this one a try. It's in the advanced settings. Try disabling this one. Marvin, I'm going to paste this advanced setting. It's called Froella Plain Paste. Just put it here in the filter here and disable it and save your changes and give that a shot. That may work for you there. All right.
And we do have Will here who wanted to ask a question with their mic. So we'll go ahead and add you, Will, to the stage.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, Will, where are you calling in from?
I'm calling in from Washington, D.C.
All right, great to have you on the webinar.
Now, I apologize in advance for this very simplistic question. I am in the process now of creating content. And so the post type blogs and or articles. But when I put the blogs together, it doesn't look very good. And I'm wondering what resources I'm sure you have that are available that I can look at in terms of the design and look of the blog, so it's easy to read for the reader.
Yeah, I have some tips for you. Do you have an example of a blog article you've published that you're not happy with the formatting?
No, I really don't want to show it. It's kind of embarrassing.
Okay.
Let me see if I can.
Okay, I'll give you some tips when you're publishing some blog articles. We can do it together here. Let's go to let's do it. Let me get my bearings here. Okay, let's actually do a quick blog article here on the Brilliant Directories site as an example. Let me just log in here. I'll give you some tips to make. So the point of a blog article first is to have that good content on your site, so people have something to read. It's good for SEO and Google. The next thing is we want it to aesthetically look nice, so that kind of encourages people to finish and get to the end of the article, stay on your site longer. And things like that. Let's actually publish a new article here. I wonder if I have the ChatGPT. Let's see. Write an article about why dogs are better than cats as pets. Use bullet points and subheadings. Okay. Let's see if this works real quick. I don't know if I have it. The ChatGPT is not connected here, but let's go to the Brilliant Directories blog. I want to show you some things that we do to help the articles look good and appealing, and good for SEO as well. Let's just take a look at this one here, 6 proven membership giveaway strategies. So one tip here is, and this is just like formatting options. I personally don't like it if a paragraph is more than 3 or 4 lines aesthetically. When you're physically, like when you're actually looking at the paragraph, I like to keep it 3 or 4 lines because it puts the article into easier digestible sections and segments. So that's tip number 1. Secondly, I like to split up after 2 to 4 paragraphs. I like to have a subheading, what's called the H2 subheading. You don't want to use an H1. An H1 is your main, and an H2 is what goes in articles. Let me show you in the text editor what an H2 is, so we're on the same page. So when you're choosing the type of paragraph here, you want to choose H2 heading and then a regular paragraph below it. So this would be normal here. So split up your sections with an H2 heading. Let me get my bearings here. So paragraphs no more than 3 to 4, that equates to about 2 or 3 sentences a paragraph. I like to use bullet lists when possible. They could be numbered or just bulleted. That's fine. And then also under each subheading, don't go straight into the bullets, add a paragraph beneath it. And then also what I like to do is under each subheading, always have at least 1 to 3 paragraphs, and then do your next subheading. So it's about splitting up the content more than anything. You can sprinkle in some images here, right? If you have an image for here, you can float it to the right using the editor. That also helps. But those are just some, I guess, structural tips when formatting a blog post to make it a little more engaging and something that people want to get to the finish line with.
Do we have the ability to have our pages look like this?
Yes. So let's just copy all this here real quick into the editor as an example. Okay, great. So this was kind of what he was talking about with the formatting. I see what he's saying, but yeah. So what you can do is you get your whole article here, and then just start doing the the subheadings. Just start marking them like this. The styling where you're seeing this underline here, that's a little custom thing that we've done.
Yes.
So that's for the CSS rule. But what would be helpful is if you kind of maybe in the Facebook group posted like a sample article that you've created that you're not fully satisfied with the way it flows as far as the layout, and be happy to provide some tips in there that you can actually update with.
I will do that. Thank you.
Okay. Great question. But you brought up a great topic. So thank you for that. The structure, it's not just about the content, it's about the engagement and getting the reader to the finish line of the article. And a lot of that has to do with not making the article look overbearing or daunting to read. So those are just some tips for everyone there. We got a lot of more questions typed in here. I'll try to get through these a bit quicker. All right, let's see here. Another question about blog articles. Fit Matters is asking, how many posts can you post per day without getting in trouble with Google SEO? Can you make a site go live with 1,000 posts before Google crawls the site index? I don't know the hard and fast rule for that. That would be a better question for ChatGPT. I don't know if Google considers 1,000 blog posts too much or 100,000 blog posts too much. I do know that Google won't index pages that are duplicate content or thin content. So even though you have 1,000 posts on your site, if they see that it's very, very similar to another site's content, that's what they consider duplicate content. They're not going to penalize you. Like, you're not going to get a negative hit on your site. You're not going to get in trouble with them. They just will choose not to index those pages. Index means include those pages in Google search results. What I would do is I would do some tests. I would start small and publish 10 articles and see how long it takes for those to rank in Google, or see why Google is choosing not to rank certain articles. In the Google Search Console, they will tell you why certain pages are not being indexed. Usually they are technical issues. Either, again, duplicate content or thin pages is 90% of the issues, and there are some additional ones on top of that. But normally Google won't penalize you. They just will choose not to index those pages. So they're not going to hurt your entire domain. What you can get hurt for is building backlinks. I know that for sure because years and years ago, I kind of hired someone to build backlinks to a website, and they did too many backlinks from too many crummy websites where their domain authority was low. And actually Google decided to, I forgot the name, but they deranked or delisted that site, and I had to go through a huge arbitration process with them. So I don't recommend hiring someone or doing like volumes of backlinks to your site, but I think adding content to your site should be fine. And then Google will pick and choose what content they deem as valuable to be indexed and included in their search results. So that's kind of not the exact answer you might be looking for. Maybe ask ChatGPT or one of the chatbots for some tips on that. But that's kind of the methodology I use for getting things ranked in Google, especially when you're doing it in volume, is do it in small batches and test and see if you're even getting results with, posting 10 at a time. All right, good stuff there. I like this question. Jamil is asking, can I use the same Stripe for different BD websites? You absolutely can. Your Stripe account is mainly like for the parent organization. You don't need a separate Stripe account for every website you run. So you can 1000% use your Stripe credentials on different website properties that you own and manage. That's generally with most gateways as well, like with PayPal as well. All right, let's see here. Here's one from Isaac, a long one. Let's see here. Regarding the WordPress plugin progress, I am considering implementing a strategy to load members on different WordPress sites separate from my BD site. I plan to display them on these other sites by creating a menu button link that leads to a page showcasing those members. For example, my BD site is usaplumbers.com, great name, and I have a WordPress site called denverplumbers.com. I'd like my BD members in Denver to be displayed on the WordPress site denverplumbers.com. Okay, I have some good news regarding that one. Let me go to our API documentation. I'm not fully, I don't know exactly how to implement it yet. However, there is a new endpoint for search results. So you're saying that you want your, like the Denver search results of your members to be displayed on this WordPress site, which is a third-party site.
So Isaac actually posted some more context. He said the only issue I foresee is that URLs for members outside of Denver will also be created on the WordPress site. Could this negatively impact SEO or result in duplicate content?
Got it. Okay. In that case, let me look here. It's not posted here yet. We have a endpoint coming where you can display your search results as they are on your BD site on third-party sites. And then when people click on it, it will target out to that profile page. So one is you'll be able to do that soon. We're going to kind of get some more documentation on that. If you're just copying your Denver members from your BD site and then actually adding them as records to your WordPress site, it would be considered duplicate content. It's not going to negatively impact your SEO. You're just not going to get any SEO benefit on the site where they're duplicated on. Again, Google will choose to rank either the records on the BD site or your WordPress site, but probably won't do both. But if you're lucky, they might rank both. So just depends kind of how you've updated your meta titles and things like that. Maybe you can add some slightly like a unique blurb on one site that is not included in the other site based on the user's metadata, their phone number, location, create some paragraphs like that. So it won't negatively impact SEO. You might just not see SEO benefit from the duplicate content. And then, yeah, I'm excited to actually share. Imagine being able to show your BD search results on third-party websites. That'll be pretty huge. It's literally just released. I don't even think we have documentation on it yet, but once we do, we will definitely cover that in a future webinar. Good stuff there, Isaac. Thank you for that. All right, let's see here. We got one from Roger Peck. I couldn't figure out where to go to delete "Are you a local business? List your company now" on this page. All right, let's go there together now. And he's talking about the login page. So let's go to his login screen. Okay, it says, "Are you a local business? List your company now." He's referring to these two buttons here. So on this login screen by default, majority of sites, generally when you're not a member, it says, hey, if you don't have an account, log in. Like BD, we want to encourage people to join your site. However, you can edit and remove these. There are several ways to do that. This is a menu. Let me show you where it is in the menu manager. I'll show you 2 ways where you can remove this. So this would be the login page sign up buttons, those 2 buttons that we're seeing below there. I'll just customize this on your site. And what you can do is don't do anything, just customize it and delete both of them and save your changes, and you'll be done. The other thing you can do is if you don't want to customize it and save changes, a little higher level, but you can still do it, is with CSS. It's one of my favorite things to do. And I'll just give you the code for that. You could just do a display none on that, and they do go away. I'll paste this here in the design settings. I'll do this method. This is, although it's with CSS, it's a small snippet of code. You don't have to customize that menu and have a custom menu on your site. Where you want to save this is in your design setting, custom CSS. It's saying the login page call to action buttons. We're going to display none them. I'll save the changes there for you. I'll also paste this in the comments for everyone. And if we come back to your login page here, Roger, they should be gone here. So you just have the login page. If you want to bring them back, just delete this from your design settings, custom CSS, just clear that and save your changes. And if you want to keep them and modify them, you can do the menu manager. You can certainly customize the login page sign-up links, change the text, change where they go to, and so on. So some options there for you. I love these questions. Thanks, guys, for them. Regarding descriptive about content for members, I remember you previously did a tip of the week to demonstrate using ChatGPT to auto-generate lists. Do you have a link for that? Yes, absolutely. I think we might have two methods to do this. Let me get my bearings here. Let's go to our blog. David, I think one of them was the Spotlight article. Kind of using ChatGPT for Spotlight articles. Same thing. You don't have to do it as a blog article. You can use it as their about section or kind of give you some ideas. Let me just paste this in here. Kind of explains the methodology of how to use ChatGPT to spin up content for your members. It basically uses their name, their business name, their address, location. If you already have a small snippet of about information related to them, it will expand on that. Let's see if we have another one. Well, here's a good one too, how to sell Spotlight articles to your members. Let me just, since this complements it so well, you can sell them and then use ChatGPT to write them real quick. So that's the plus. All right, I shared that. Let me just search for ChatGPT one more time here, because I think there was one more that we had. I think those two should be good to start. Yeah, if you have more questions on that, just please feel free to ask in the Facebook group. All right, Marvin is asking, I don't have the ChatGPT on my editor. Is this a feature newly implemented? And what level is being offered? So yeah, what you want to do is you want to connect your ChatGPT API. Since there's usage costs with that, there's an add-on, and it allows you to just connect your ChatGPT account. I'll share this with you here, Marvin. It's really simple to do. There's a video on how to do it here. And the prices for these AIs are getting cheaper and cheaper. Economies of scale, and the technology is getting better. And now there's more competition. So they're incentivized to have competitive rates. So yeah, it works with ChatGPT 4.0 mini, which is the best value for ChatGPT. And it does a great job at, creating content in the editor for you. So there you go. All right, Rich is asking, I know how to use coupon codes, but is there an article or link showing how to automatically add it to the checkout page? So yeah, that one, Rich, is, I think we may have already answered this one for you. You're going to want to link it. I think we had the link. I lost it. Let me just share the link to the Easy Coupon Codes add-on here. There's a link to documentation here, and I'll share with you the link one more time. You're going to just have to add the ref code to the end of the checkout page links. Here we go. I'll just copy this here. So you can copy the ref code that you want, and then it will automatically add that. It'll apply the discount on their checkout. So yeah, that would take care of what you're looking to do there. Okay, Roger's asking, can the map on this page be displayed on the home page? So visit cornucopia.com / search results. Let's see if I can type that in here. Visit cornucopia.com. All right. And if we go to search results, and you're like, so, okay. It's a double-edged sword. It used to be, the problem with having the map on the homepage is it's going to ping like crazy, the Google Maps API, and that's on every single homepage load. And it's a really inefficient way to do it. Can it be done? Probably with a small customization. It's probably moving some widgets around to your homepage. Would I recommend it? I wouldn't recommend it. Mainly, we'll go to a site like Yelp.com or YellowPages.com, just looking at some business search sites real quick. The way to do it is you're not really seeing a map. It's asking you to do the keyword and the location search. The keyword and the location search. A lot of this is also because of the intent of the user. We don't just want to, the maps take a long time to load. It's a loading nightmare for Google page speed and things like that. But also we want to make it easy for the user. It's not really useful to show them, hundreds or thousands of pin drops on a map on the homepage without them having to have filtered for something first. So I do know why you may want to do it, and there definitely are some pros for it. If that is part of your business model and it's essential, you can reach out to someone in the marketplace. Again, it's just a matter of probably moving some widgets to the homepage. Probably not too much heavy lifting because the map widget is already created. But my personal recommendation would be you may not want to fight that battle and just make it easy for people to search on your homepage. If your site is already location specific, which in your case it is, it's Cornucopia, Wisconsin. In that case, you might just want to focus on the keyword search and remove the location since the website is already focused on the location. So you just ask them to enter the type of business, the category business they're looking for. Showing them lawyers and dog walkers and hamburger stands on the homepage seems like fun, but again, it's really resource intensive and it's not the best user experience that you might want to present. So again, maybe not the exact answer you're looking for. It is possible with the customization, but you may want to consider just simplifying the process and just making something where people feel like they're going into a portal of your site. All right. Great questions, though, by the way. All right. Salinas is asking, I use the recommended dimensions for uploading my website logo, but it still keeps displaying smaller and blurred. What I would recommend is a couple of things. I don't know if you're using a JPEG or a PNG. Do you want to share your site, Salinas? And we could take a look if you want to update your question there. But what I like to do with logo images is upload it a little larger than it's going to be on the site. Not a crazy image. We always want to stay away from immensely large images on our site, but I always like maybe 10 to 20% larger width than the image is going to be displayed on the site. And then when it's sized down automatically, the system will size it down to fit the space. That actually creates a sharper image. What I'm afraid of is maybe you're uploading an image that is, even though they're the dimensions, the space that you're loading the image, maybe you're using the widescreen on your site, it's actually stretching the image. That might be a smaller image. And anytime you stretch an image larger than it actually is in its original size, it is going to appear pixelated or blurry. So if you want to, it would be helpful to see your site. If you want to type in a comment, Salinas, we can maybe check it in a little bit and see what's going on with your logo there. All right, Mike is asking, does the ChatGPT add-on allow members to write posts using ChatGPT? That is a fantastic question. You as the admin get to choose when you have this add-on, which members can have the privilege of utilizing the ChatGPT in their text editor. And let me show you an example of that. I'll show you where that setting is. One is you probably need to educate your members that toolbar exists because it's kind of easy to miss, but that's a great way to include in a newsletter for your community. It's a great way to, advertise that your site has now unlocked this or developed this new functionality. What's cool about Brilliant Directories is as we release new stuff for you guys, you can report it as news is what you've developed for your community. So everything that's being pushed that kind of benefits as a member benefit or perk or feature that you can offer to your members, you can let your members know you asked, we answered, and now you can do, X, Y, and Z. So when you're editing a membership plan, let me just search for ChatGPT. Here it is. So when you have the add-on, you can select this enable ChatGPT in the text editors. You're going to want to set this to yes. And again, you can do this for all your membership plans if you want, or you can hold it back and only offer it to your higher tiered membership plans as an extra benefit or perk for, again, those higher tiered membership plans. So it's in the membership plan settings when you have the add-on and you want to select enable ChatGPT. And when your members are publishing, blog article posts or any type of posts using the text editor in their member dashboard, they'll have access to that ChatGPT tool. All right, let's see here. Rich is asking, I was looking in our email outbox and found 54 unopened, which is the email they used to sign up. Is there a way or tool to verify their email address? This is not just for newsletters, but for emails everywhere. So if it's showing as delivered but unopened, it would mean that it is a valid email address. If it shows like a hard bounce or soft bounce, and it would be in red text in your email outbox, Rich, that would mean that it's an invalid email address. So somebody signed up with a dummy email address. How can you get in touch with that person? If they maybe added their phone number somewhere, you might want to call them and say, hey, your email is invalid. Or, people are on the internet. Sometimes people just play around to see what happens. And if you have a free sign up plan, they might do the free sign up, but they're obviously not clicking the, verify your email address because it's an invalid email they entered, and you can reach out to them. But the email address is what is used to sign up for the free account. So if we don't have another point of contact for them, like a phone number, then, it's really on them to figure out how to get their email verified. But it's pretty standard. When you sign up for anything that's free on the internet, usually you can put any email address in there that's in a correct email address format. But if it's an invalid email that, they won't know, they just won't get the verification email. So if it shows unopened though, and there's no soft bounce or hard bounce, it means that it was a valid email entered there, Rich. And one thing you can do is this. You can do a search in your members here. And what you can do is search for whatever your free membership plan is, because those are the ones, let's say general users. And you can do account status not active, because that is, they are not active until they verify their email address. So you can search for those. This site doesn't have any, but those two things, the free membership plan that these members have signed up to, and the account status not active. And then you can create a smart list from this, or you can export this list and take additional action as needed. For bounces, you should purge those over time. They're just invalid. People just putting dummy information in. Or accidentally doing it, but it's hard to kind of figure out who they are, because really they're just inputting their email address on that sign up form. I'll give you another tip since we're talking about tips here. You could add a phone number field to that free sign up form and make it required. Again, they could put a dummy phone number in there, but at least you'll have 2 points of contact for your free signups. So let me find this update checkout page fields. Brilliant. Let's see what we can get here. Here we go. So you can actually add more fields to capture more information on checkout pages. I'll share this article here. And you may want to consider adding a phone number field here. So if this is a ongoing issue for you, where there's a lot of people signing up for free and they're not verifying their email address for that free sign up, you may be able to capture a phone number, and that may be a great way to talk to them and learn more why they joined your site, what they like. And it could have just been an honest mistake where they put an accidentally incorrect email address. All right, great. Let's see here. Jamil is asking, duplicating a site. Can you copy all your settings and customizations from one BD site to another? Yes, you can. There is a service called Clone Your Site. The one thing we're going to work on this so you guys can do this yourself. Right now, it requires the BD support team. It's $25 to clone your site. Use the promo code VIP30. It'll get you 30% off that. But what we want to make sure of is that we're not duplicating the billing subscriptions. We don't want your members to get cloned on a new site, and now they're being billed double twice on the two sites. So there are some nuances that our team is doing right now to make sure that those don't happen. Or if you're moving the members to the new site and you're going to deprecate the older site, we want to make sure the billing gets transferred. So the billing is a big nuance here, why it's still a service that we offer, but we're going to be putting this in your hands probably later this year. But use the Clone My Site tool, and you can easily just duplicate the site. Exactly what you wrote. Copy all the settings from one site and customizations to another BD site. All right, and last one here. How can we create our own ChatGPT thing like BD has for my own BD site? All right, so there are a lot of chatbot tools. What he's referring to is this. Let's go there together. So here we have the BD help bot, and you can ask it questions. Where do I edit members? And we've trained the bot. We have a prompt, but there's lots of tools. You want to train it on your information. Generally, you're going to train it on your website's sitemap. It'll read all the data on your sitemap, and then you can ask it things like, where can I find a dentist in Colorado? And it should just recommend the dentist in Colorado profile links that are on your site. So it's almost like a little butler concierge for navigating your site. So a few tools here. Chatbase.co. Some of them have a free option. Some of them have, pricing options. I'll just share this here. And if we go to ChatGPT, we can find out some alternatives for Chatbase, because I just don't know any off the top of my head. And any of these, you're going to just want to add your you got to give your source data. So usually you give your sitemap, and then you give it the prompt. You're a helper for the website so-and-so. You help visitors only find links to pages on our site, et cetera, et cetera. I'll just Google this also and share this with you. There we go. Writesonic is another one. So I'll just share this as well. But you can do a Google search for alternatives to Writesonic and Chatbase. But yeah, you can certainly use a chatbot and embed it on your BD site. It's a nice little touch there. Costa Rica Unlimited question: can members manage multiple businesses with one account? The answer to that is yes. With that, you're going to want the multi-member manager add-on. Let me find that. It's a tongue twister there. Multi-member manager add-on. And what this does is it allows a parent account to manage multiple what we call sub-accounts. So let's say a law firm is the main parent account, and they have profiles for the individual lawyers who work at that law firm. The multi-member manager would allow that law firm to have that parent account. Another use case for this, let's say you're, a pizza shop, and you got 5 pizza shops in the local city. And this way, when you have the privilege of being a parent with sub accounts, you can have the main flagship location, and then you can list the 4 additional locations for your pizza shop, so you can manage all those profiles. They might have a different address and different phone number, but most of the information will be the same. And also the parent account wants to receive all the leads from the sub accounts potentially. And one final use case is, for example, let's say you're a talent agency. You're the parent account is the talent agency, and the sub accounts are the profiles for all the singers, actors, musicians, and so on, are the sub accounts that have profiles. So the multi-member manager add-on should do the trick for you. All right, Wayne is asking, if a site member posts a blog article, so if a member posts a blog article, how can they point their customers directly to that article on my BD site directly? Is that possible? Yeah, actually, well, they could do a few things. If they're publishing a blog article, let's go to Demo Bootstrap, actually. It's our demo site. Let's log in as a sample member here. Great. Okay, so he's got some articles here. So a few things he could do. First, he can view his posts. And of course, he could just share the URL here. Also, you can share on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, etc. So there are some options here. But so they can do all that. Let me see. How can they point their customers directly to that article on my BD site? They can link to what they're publishing. So LinkedIn is famous for allowing people. So let's go LinkedIn SEO tips for, I don't know, business owners. I'm sure there's an article there. Let's see. Basically, so this person works at LinkedIn, but LinkedIn has a section where like regular people who have LinkedIn accounts can write articles. And I'm just trying to see if I can find one. Here we go. This one might be one. And yeah, it's called Pulse. It's called LinkedIn Pulse. So, these rank in SEO. People can comment on it. You have comments with your BD, but as far as encouraging them to share it, it's really on educating them on the benefits of sharing it. But yeah, they have access to the link. I'm just thinking right now, you're giving me some ideas on the admin page here where they're looking at this. One of the actions should be share with a pop-up of the share options that we're seeing, in the sidebar. So for that article, so they'll get, share article. That's a great suggestion. Action or post, share pop-up. And one of them can be like just when the pop-up comes is also like the link, like so they can copy the link real easily. So they'll have the share buttons and they'll have the link to copy. So that's a great suggestion there. And link to copy. It'll be in the actions dropdown, so they still got to see it, but we'll figure it out. That's a good suggestion there. So thank you for that, Wayne. But yeah, they have the URL. They could share that article. All right, let's see here. Any more starred ones, Dave?
We do have Marvin here, so let's go ahead and add Marvin to the stage. Hey, Marvin.
Yes, gentlemen, you guys are hearing me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Excellent. So I've had actually multiple instances where, apart from the claim listings, I've had issues where then I would add my own other upload other lists, a bunch of emails so that I can go ahead and distribute newsletters. But I've had customers call me and reach out to me and tell me that they can't sign up because they are not able to proceed to the next step. The system does not allow it because just later to find out that they do have a duplicate email separate from the claim listings that I would purchase from the site from Brilliant Directories. So how can we make that process easier for the potential customer so that they don't come up with that problem? Because they won't be able to sign up unless I physically go into the back end of the site and delete at least one of those emails. Then they are able to proceed. So when I upload, let's say 50, 100 emails, then they may be already there as part of the claim listings. But that's a problem because now how do I eliminate a duplicate case scenario when it comes to emails so that the customer does not come across that problem?
Great question. So there's two parts to that. It's great that you're using the claim listing. And in order to claim a listing, you have to go to that profile page and say, I want to claim this listing. I'm this business. All right. And then you can claim that. You can claim that business. If they're not going to the profile page and saying, I want to claim this business, and they're just going to your site and signing up as a new member, which is great that you're getting that participation, by the way. Getting that level of engagement means that you're sending good emails to people and motivating them to join. What you can do is there's this advanced setting here. And generally on a site, you don't want people to have duplicate emails. But again, that's just a business model strategy. It's not a hard rule. So this setting exists. I would turn this off. Basically it allows the same email address to exist when people are signing up. That will solve your problem right there.
Excellent.
Let me post this, and I'm going to show you another thing also. So just go to your advanced settings and search for, I just typed it into the comments there. Allow multiple user accounts with same email addresses. If enabled, members can have multiple accounts with the same email. Basically, it allows the same email address to sign up.
Multiple listing. Okay, and just disable that feature there.
Disable it. And then what you can do is over time, because it's not going to be a high volume of this happening, but this will remove that roadblock. Over time, what you can do maybe once a month, come to your search members page and search for find duplicates and type in email. I don't know if there's any on this site. And what it's going to do is it's going to search for any members, multiple members who might have the same email address on file. And then with that, you can choose to delete the one that you want to keep. You can delete the one you don't want to keep if you care about it. So this find duplicates tool is really helpful because it'll, especially for the email address or the phone number or the address, because then you can really find duplicates on your site. You might not want to take any action, but then you can choose to take action if you want to, such as deleting a duplicate or erroneous redundant member listing.
That sounds great. Yeah, thank you for that insight. I'll definitely be doing that. Absolutely. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Great question there. Wow, that was a whirlwind fun round of Q&A. You guys are awesome, by the way. For those of you who stuck around and hung out with us to the end, thank you so much. It's amazing. We're already in 2025. The next webinar will be in 2 weeks. So we look forward to seeing you then. Let's see what date that is. It's February 19th right now. So that will be March 5th. So we'll see you guys in March. If we didn't get to your question today, please ask it in the Facebook group. David, thank you for putting together these quick tips. Super helpful and fun to see some of these settings that really don't get too much attention. Lots of updates coming down the line. We'll be sure to share them with the community. And of course, the replay will be available in the Brilliant Directories Facebook group. You can go to brilliantdirectories.com/Facebook and join us in that group. Feel free to participate in there, ask questions, ask for feedback on your site. It's a really positive place to be. And for those of you that joined us on YouTube, thank you so much. Don't forget to like and subscribe. On behalf of myself, David, and the entire Brilliant Directories family, we love you guys so much. We're grateful for all your participation and helping to make the platform better for everyone. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Have a great day and a brilliant week. Take care. And while we're doing that, let's put some outro music, which we just learned how to do. All right. Thanks, guys, for joining the webinar. Lots of fun.